Self-control sounds simple until you actually have to practice it. My name is Leon Wheeler Jr., and this is Master Making Emotion, where I'm learning how to master myself, and I'm teaching it while learning. Today is going to be an interesting concept because most people think that they are in control for the most part, but I beg to differ. I believe that the hard truth about uh, self control points to, in my opinion, a degree of, I guess, betrayal. Yes, I must say a degree of betrayal. When I analyze the situation and I look at how I've failed many, many times of standing firm on my convictions, what I actually know to be true. And when it's all said and done, it boils down to the fact that I've actually lying to myself. And I think that's a big deal, a really grave deal, because in my, from my observation about myself, first and foremost, I do my very best, and I've been doing this for years, to be a man of my word. I'm actually pretty good at it when it comes to the outside, individuals in my family, friends, associates, or what have you. I say what I mean and mean what I say, for the most part. I mean, I fall short sometimes because I may have spoke in haste or because I am pretty talkative. A lot of times I put the cart before the horse. With that said, though, when I really get down to it and really look at the reality of me being a man of my word, I realize that the person that I do the most harm to, by way of being stern and sincere and dedicated and honest and loyal, uh, I fall short with myself. I say things that I plan to do and I break it. And it happens over and over and over again. And I see it and I recognize it and I understand that awareness about this is the first key. But just knowing something never actually solve a problem. You have to apply some form of, it has to be application. You have to find a way to change the situation if you're serious. And I guess that's really what the problem is. A lot of times we're not really that serious. It's lip profession. We say things, it just fall off our mouth. But then when you think about it, if you think about it, when I think about it, and I have, and I do, and I'm suffering from that still today. That's why I'm talking about it. But I'm gonna master it. That's mandatory because this is where my mind is at now, mastering the things that, the shortcomings, the things that I actually have the power to master, and that's pretty much all things when dealing with the self. And it all starts from a mental standpoint. If you can feel it, if you can see it, you can feel it, you can seal it, you can make it your reality. I believe that. Actually, I know that, and I've done that on many occasions. Again, dealing with other individuals on the outside, but I lied to myself. Why do you lie to yourself? I believe that the philosophy that I hold about betrayal being a sin. I think that that would be possibly the number one sin, at least for me as a master in the making. The number one sin would be for me to betray myself, not to betray someone else. And that's what that feel like. That's what I feel like when I be so stern on doing what I say to you, and I find myself vacillating, going back and forth, doing the same things, not standing firm in my conviction about what I say I'm going to do. And until I do that, I can't claim really no real foundation or no real reality of being in control. That I have to be. That's the form of self control that I must master first. And again, knowing is part is half the battle. But I'm on the other side because I've been knowing these things for eons, for decades. But I still find myself doing it. I just done it lately. Told myself that I was going to do some things, and broke my word with myself. I think it was Shakespeare say, "Be true to thy own self, as the night follows the day." Yes, that's what it's about, being true to thyself. And when you can do that, you're in the atmosphere of mastery, of self. That's self-control. And that's what starts. You have to control yourself. I find myself doing it over and over again. And I have a solution. I have a practice, an application that I've been practicing, and I tend to practice it more. And I extend it to you all because it may help you. And that's that self talk. You got to have that self talk. You talk to yourself about the scenario, before you allow yourself to violate your covenant, the words that you made with yourself. Talk to yourself. Take out. We talk about. I've talked about the pause in the past. The pause is a part of it. To breathe and all that. But the self talk is a new dynamic that I want to introduce to you all. And we all do it. And unfortunately, a lot of times from a negative standpoint. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say this too. That this is a belief of mine also. That everything that we need, in all honesty, is inside of us. It's a part of your makeup from the Creator. This is what I believe. I believe that God resides in each and every one of us, and that God that resides in each and every one of us knows everything that's necessary for you to live your particular life. I'm not saying you're gonna know about physics and all of that because that's not the course of your life. That's not your mission. That's not. But what you need to know is inside of you. But what you do know what is necessary and how to become a physician or a physicist or whatever. You know what it takes because that information is inside of you. So you have to tap in. You know what you need to know. I believe that. So I said that's why the self-talk is important. Because if you can tap into the self that's dormant inside of you and listen to what it has to say, because you've been drowning it out. You've been drowning it out with practices that's not conducive to your elevation, to your existence, to your health, to your well-being, to your peace. We've drowned it out with bad habits, reoccurring themes that just comes and comes and comes, and it does no good for us. Like I said, I just done it lately. I tell myself that I wasn't going to smoke a cigar, because it's bad for me. And I found myself buying a cigar not long afterwards, eating chips. You know, so you have to stop telling yourself things. Stop, be firm in your conviction. The same way you dedicate your word to someone else, dedicate it to yourself. Self-talk. That's what we're going to talk about. Self-talk. That's what we're talking about. So have the self-talk. Tell yourself that you're going to stand firm. When you start thinking about flipping the script, say, no, no, I gave my word to myself. Talk, meditate, contemplate, breathe, pause, do it all. Self-talk. That's what it's about. This is master making in motion. This is me becoming a master in me. And if you're on the same path, I invite you to walk with me. Peace and love. Be.